Hello, welcome back to Podium Pop. My name is Gracie. I'm here with my co-host Celine. We are a motorsport podcast, and we're going to be discussing the Formula One Qatar Grand Prix race weekend. Just like
Yeah.
all you can do is laugh at this point. If you watch the race, you truly understand. If you're coming here for the first time on a full recap, just get ready. It was a sprint weekend. Let's start from the very top.
Mm-hmm. Before we get started,
what should they do?
they should go follow us on social media.
Yeah, for sure. Where should they follow us?
Well, we post on TikTok and on Instagram, and we post our episode every week on Spotify and on YouTube. So you probably should just go follow us on all 4 of those, just to make sure you don't miss anything.
And I'm gonna start a big goal.
Okay.
It could be unrealistic. It could be.
Okay.
We're at 150 subscribers on YouTube. Go subscribe to us. It would be so fun to hit 200 before the year ends.
Oh my god.
We hit 100 subscribers in February.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so we need 50 more.
It'll happen.
Yeah. Go subscribe. I don't believe it'll happen. Prove me wrong.
Anyway, let's get into the weekend. We had a sprint weekend, came right from Las Vegas.
Yep.
We didn't. We came home.
We did come home in between.
For sure. We're actually in Qatar right now. Practice 1. I didn't watch it. I just checked the results. Did you watch it?
I had it up. I didn't really watch.
Yeah. All I know is Lando and Oscar finished basically at the same pace.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go into sprint qualifying. It's always just so weird when it's a sprint.
Yeah.
Especially for us, at least in America, because you still had to work, but a lot of people had Friday off.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just sitting there and normally if it's a sprint weekend, I'm am I going to tune in during work? Am I going to keep up? Whatever. But today, because of the Thanksgiving holiday, I was I have my day open.
I know. I legitimately forgot it was a sprint weekend.
Yeah.
And I was at work and Gracie texted me and was like, "Are you going to watch the sprint qualifying?" I was like, "Oh my gosh." So I did have it up. I was technically working.
Yeah.
But I did have it up, kind of keeping an eye on it, but I wasn't really tuned in.
I was pretty tuned in.
Okay.
We gotta talk about it. And then we're gonna have to talk about it again.
Probably again next week.
Poor Lewis Hamilton. He could not get out of Q1 in sprint qualifying, and the Ferrari was well and truly struggling this week for sure.
Right.
I don't even know.
Yeah. Okay. So Lewis is still all season we've been saying he's just got to get used to it. He's Lewis Hamilton. He's just got to get used to it. He's just got to get used to it. It's 23 races in, and yes, the car is bad. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
But he is just not on pace where his teammate is. And that's not always the case, but it's very rare that it's the case that he is out qualifying or even close to qualifying near Charles.
Yeah.
Especially recently.
Yeah, I don't know. I truly wonder what next year is going to bring for Ferrari.
Yeah, and it is going to be interesting with the new regulations. We don't know how things are going to shake up. He could have come in and maybe because he wasn't with the team as they were developing the 2025 car, he didn't really get a lot of say in what's working and what's not. Mm-hmm. So maybe with him being in the car this full year and helping them develop what they want for the 2026 car, he'll be able to handle it better.
Yeah, maybe.
So not all hope is lost.
Not all hope is lost.
But it's looking a little grim.
Do you think Lewis Hamilton will continue after the 2026 season?
I think it'll be very dependent on how the first half of the 2026 season goes.
Okay. I could agree with that.
I think if the first half of the 2026 season is anything like the 2025 season, I think he may retire.
He came into this year so locked in. I don't have a wife, I don't have kids. This is my direct quote from Lewis himself. He was this is what I'm here for. This is my passion. I'm putting all my focus into this. And then part of me is obviously he's still the greatest Formula One driver of all time.
Right.
But I'm I wonder, it's got to get to you at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's another one. I'm who's your therapist?
Who is your... He's probably the most emotionally mature person on the grid,
like
and
mentally
probably
well regulated.
very well regulated, because he's probably had a therapist and been in therapy for majority, if not all, of his Formula One career.
Yeah.
And I feel like most other drivers are catching up to that, but not nearly as quick.
I wouldn't say his whole career. You got to think he started in 2007.
Right.
I would say maybe
I still think majority. Like, I could see
a
him
good
like,
chunk.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely after 2016. Couples therapy.
Yeah, that one. So that was like the biggest, I guess, shocker of sprint qualifying was Lewis out in Q1. It was kind of straightforward from there. Oscar got pole position, George got P2, Lando got P3, and Max was in P6. So everybody was kind of like, championship-wise, this is looking great for Lando and Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Just you wait. So I said in our notes that the sprint race could have been an email.
I think everything past like lap 3 could have been an email.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first 3 laps were a little scary.
It stayed the same. Oscar got a great start. George got a great start. Lando had a good start, but Max also had a great start and passed. Oh, I forget who it was, but he came up right behind Lando in P4, and for a second, Max was like putting the pressure on to see if he could pass him.
Right at the beginning, it was like Yuki and Max were kind of like right next to each other.
Because Yuki had out-qualified Max for the sprint. That was the other exciting thing. Forgot to mention that. Pretty crazy.
But they were right next to each other, and then by the end of lap 1, Max was already in front of Yuki, in 4th, right behind Lando.
Yes.
And that's where it got a little scary because, Oscar had clean air, so he pulled away.
Yeah, for sure.
George was keeping up with him, but wasn't close to overtaking at any point that I noticed, but he kept up with him.
Yeah.
And Lando kind of was more so worried about Max behind him than George in front of him. So there was a bit of space, and then it was Lando and then Max. And Max was
on him for like
on his ass for
yeah.
the first couple of laps. He eventually pulled away a little bit, but
to settle in.
There was just a lot of talk because Max had so much trouble with the Red Bull in qualifying versus the sprint race. It really depended on how heavy the car is with the fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And because he had a bigger tank of fuel, he was able to control the car better. So in that theory, the farther into the race he goes, not even considering like tire drag and everything, but further into the race he goes, less fuel in the car, the harder it gets to control along with tire drag. So, and we definitely saw that happen because he definitely eventually there was a gap, not a huge one, but there was enough of a gap where I wasn't as worried. And
yeah, no,
it could have been an email.
It could have been an email. We need to stop going to races where overtaking is less likely for a sprint race.
Yeah, for a sprint race.
I don't think Miami's a bad sprint race. I don't understand why we took away Interlagos as a sprint race. I'm going to be so honest.
Mm-hmm.
Austin is fine for a sprint race. Singapore is just going to be like hell next year. I don't really know. Like, what are we doing?
Singapore is going to be hell next year.
They're going to Silverstone too, right?
I think so.
That'll be a good sprint.
Yeah.
I just I don't understand it. I don't know. I'm not the FIA though.
Thank God.
No, honestly, yeah. I don't think I could handle that pressure.
No.
So then the race finished and Oscar got P1, George got P2, Lando P3. We're seeing Oscar back in form we've missed.
Mm-hmm.
Since
he seemed very calm, very collected. It's been a while since he's had a good race.
Like Zandvoort.
Yeah, and he needed that sprint race, I think, for himself just to be like,
yeah.
Okay, I can do
think
this.
just for sure. Not to bring mentality, but I also think that's going to help you no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter how
the momentum.
Yes, for sure. And then we move on to regular qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis Hamilton was once again out in Q1 in qualifying.
Poor Lewis. It's crazy that now it's becoming more of a norm.
Yes.
For him to be out in Q1. Yeah. And that is when you start, it's one thing to get Q1 a couple races, or it's one thing to get a bad qualifying. But when it becomes not shocking to people that you get Q1, that's when you want to be a little worried.
Yeah, for sure. And then in Q3 we see Charles spin off, and it brought out a red flag because of some debris and stuff on track. They had to get that cleared. Charles was able to continue qualifying, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Because of the red flag, yeah. So Charles was able to continue qualifying, and that left with about 5 minutes left for qualifying to happen. So everyone, goes out again and is doing their thing. Oscar is just having like a fantastic time. He's doing great. Like no notes, truly.
No notes.
Lando going out, he made a mistake in his last run. There's still like a minute-ish left.
So he probably, if he wanted to keep pushing, it would have been close, but he could have tried to go for another lap.
Yeah, there just wasn't.
But there wasn't enough time, and eventually he just like completely slowed down and just like aborted.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have made it back to the finish line in time to start a new lap before the clock went down to 0.
Yeah. And then Max got P3 and George got P4.
Carlos got P7.
Yeah.
Isaac got P6, and Kimmy was in P5.
Yeah, so then it went Kimmy, Carlos, Alonso.
No. So top 10, Charles in 10th, Pierre, Alonso, Carlos, Isaac, Kimmy, George, Max, Lando, Oscar.
So there's your top 10 for qualifying.
Top 10. I think, kind of a side note, Williams, they're cooking.
I just
right
want to
now.
know what's wrong with Alex. Seriously.
I think Alex, some of the stuff he's been having really bad luck. But I think that at the end of the day, we were kind of talking about this earlier, that like Carlos he's just a fantastic race car driver, but he's raced for so many different teams. He's had so many different like cars. I think he honestly is just adapting to it quicker than anybody expected, because it's like, if you look at it with like Lewis was with Mercedes for practically his whole career.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but a lot of it. He's been in the same car. It's drove similarly. Like, he's had the same team. Carlos has been through, before he got to Williams, 4 other teams. He's used to adapting quickly, getting up to speed with the car. If you look at Alex, he's been with Williams for,
but like, hypothetically, you should think that he should be able to keep up with Carlos if he's been with the team for so long.
Hypothetically, but I don't really want to go toss around those statements, because I'm like Alex Albon and I'm scared.
No, like I don't know. Like, I'm not even saying this is anything against Alex. I think he's had like his fair share of bad luck this season.
I think it is. I think it is against Alex though. Carlos is like.
But it's just insane the fact that Carlos was in P3 and Alex is finishing in 11th outside the points.
I know.
But like, I don't know.
But it's frustrating. But Carlos is showing basically Williams, okay, there's potential for this car, and I do think he came in on a really good year, because then, like, with the help of Alex is having a phenomenal season compared to his other seasons. If he had a teammate that was at the same level as him, people would be like, oh my gosh, this is what Alex Albon's been working for. This is fantastic. Yeah. He is blowing away all of his past couple seasons with Williams. But because you have Carlos sitting next to him, first year in the car, and it was definitely the opposite for the first half of the season. I was gonna say, Alex was the quicker car, and again, it just, I think, really shows Carlos's being able to quickly adapt to the car and adapt to what is needed. But it is like, it'll be interesting next year.
Yeah. Because
2026 is their year. They both have that Williams experience under their belt. Alex a little bit more, but still. I don't know. I think it's going to be really interesting. I think I'm excited to see what they can do next year. I just, like, I don't know. I feel so bad for Alex. I know. I feel really bad for Alex.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Oh, poor guy.
Poor guy.
Okay, so should we get into the race start? Oh, actually, we should talk about after qualifying. It was George and Lando in the media.
Oh, yeah.
This was so funny. And, like, I guess George, like, went up to Lando while they were both being interviewed in the media pen and was like, what is this that you're saying? You're saying that I, like, messed up your lap, da-da-da. And Lando immediately was like, what are you talking about? I don't know if, like, I could immediately tell they were joking.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, wow, like, I've never heard this tone from Norris before. Like, I don't know. I guess it's maybe because also, like, I guess, like, we've watched him on, like, Max Futrell streams and stuff like that, and, like, seen him in, like, a different environment. I was like, oh, like, he's joking.
Well, him and George always pull shit like this in the media, too. Like, it's like...
For sure. I feel like, there were some people like, wow, that's crazy. And I was like, oh, wait, do you guys know they're joking?
Yeah.
Or, like, George is always coming up to Lando, like, grabbing his ear and stuff like that. Like,
that I think does, but Lando's like, don't fucking touch me right now.
Just stop. I thought it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I was cackling away. Lando being like, where even were you? I didn't even think you were near me. That was so funny. Okay, now let's get to the race start.
Okay.
So going into this race, if Lando won the race, he would have been the world champion for the 2025 season. So that's what everybody was talking about, quite frankly. Oscar was ahead of him, Max was behind him, and we said, let's go. So the race starts in the top 10 on the right side of the grid. So the side that George and Isaac and Lando were all starting on. None of them had good starts. George starting P4 fell all the way back to P7. Lando fell back to P3 with Max getting ahead of him, which was just like, what is happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
And then Isaac also fell back near George. That allowed Carlos and Alonso up front. That just like wasn't fun in the opening stages, watching any of them. Yeah. I was like, it really had to be like George, Isaac, and Lando like, having 4 starts.
Yeah.
And then we get to just the incident of it all.
It was lap 8.
Yeah.
Maybe lap 7,
I think
technically.
It was lap 7.
When the first incident happened. But basically, Pierre and Hulkenberg made contact. Hulk spun out, lost a tire. That caused a safety car to come out.
To preface before we start talking, in Qatar, they had a 25 lap maximum on tires because there's so much tire degradation around the track.
Yes.
So going into this, everybody was like, okay, we're going to have to be pitting around before and around like lap 25 to keep going so you don't get a penalty, disqualified, whatever. So then a safety car comes out early on in the race, and then I feel like I hadn't come over to watch the race with you guys yet, but I'm just sitting there, I'm like, what is everyone going to do?
Right, because if you sit and think about it, on paper, it doesn't make sense to pit during the safety car.
No, it does not.
Because... especially
lap 6.
If they were to pit, like, everyone that pit during the safety car, you would have to pit exactly on lap 25 because your second stint and your third stint would be 25 exactly. So and it basically said, like, if you do not pit on that exact lap, you would basically, I don't know, get a penalty or something. I don't even know what would happen. But because of that, it was, like, really a risky thing to, like, okay, let's do it. But once one person goes in, okay, everybody goes in because then everyone's on the same pit cycle. Except Oscar was leading the race. He did not go into pit. I can almost be like, okay, maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Lando should have followed Max in. Lando, it would have been too quick. I mean, I don't know. I don't know because it would be really hard, like, just to see Max go in and immediately. He was right next to him. Yeah, for sure. Follow him in. Lando wouldn't have known to follow him. Lando should have followed him in. McLaren should have called Lando in. McLaren should have called both of them in and stacked them. And they were like, we didn't want to stack them. Okay, I'm sorry. You should have stacked them. Everybody else stacked them. Did it. I would call it perfectly. They were slow on it.
Mercedes did it decently well.
Yeah. It just would have been better. And honestly, the results, who knows, could have been completely different. No, yeah, they were. But because they didn't go into pit, they were on a different pit cycle than everyone else.
But when we say everyone else, everybody but Esteban Ocon.
Yes. Pit. Who then Esteban pit the next.
So all 2019, all 16 drivers pit. So
McLaren's were the only one that didn't pit, but because everybody else pit during a safety car and McLaren's going to have to pit unless there's another safety car, McLaren would have to pit during a non-safety car. They're automatically losing out on a huge chunk of time that the whole race, okay, like now we have to make that up. We basically have to build enough of a gap that once we do pit and we lose the extra time that they were trying to build a gap to not lose time. Yeah, because of not doing it during the safety car. That's the only way that we can basically stay where we are. Yeah. And the McLaren is fast, but not that fast. Not fast enough to pull off something like that.
But also, like, yeah, and once the safety car finally came in, when they could get up to speed, it's like there wasn't even that much time. Maybe, like, 15 laps?
Yeah.
Which, at first I was like, okay, I have faith and they can build up some time. And then I'm, like, watching it and I'm like, oh, no, we're not building up much at all.
Right.
Oscar decently did a good job, but once again, he had clean air in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, like, the most frustrating thing, I think, to see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We could go on and on. I feel
they made a really bad strategy call.
For sure.
There's no way, it could have paid off and it could have been this amazing moment and been like, oh my gosh, they made the right call. I mean, we say that every time. We are not on the pit wall. We don't know what information is in front of them. I'd like to think that they made a calculated,
I don't
assessment. It's obviously the results didn't show that. But at the end of the day, it was the wrong decision, and it kind of screwed up Oscar and Lando's whole race. Not completely, but it definitely...
I'm trying to think of, like, what they thought their option would be with this. How did they not realize, oh, we're going to pit at lap 25, and then just be behind everybody else that is already pit?
I think if there was... Well, one,
I mean,
if
they're
other
thinking
people didn't
safety
pit,
car for sure.
if there was another safety car...
You can't bank on a safety car.
No, of course not. But they do all the time in Formula One.
I mean, I get it.
But they shouldn't, obviously. It could have been a really great moment. The chips didn't fall in the right place, so they looked like idiots.
They sure did.
They sure did.
So then we have McLaren's pit. Oscar comes in first on lap 24. Lando comes in next on lap 25. They get that in. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with my notes. And then they're just kind of behind everybody. But then Oscar was able to pass Carlos. No, Oscar just let Carlos go because Oscar knew Carlos was going to have to pit again soon. Because everybody else then had to go in on lap 32 to pit, which I genuinely was like, everybody going in on lap 32 is going to be so chaotic. It ended up being a little less chaotic than we thought.
Yeah. Well, I think the first one where everybody pit at once was so chaotic because it also was like, okay, spur of the moment. Like, everyone's scrambling, tires, blah, blah, blah. The releases were crazy. But they were prepared for it being chaotic, so that kind of helped out a little bit. But everybody did it. Ollie had a really slow pit stop.
Super slow.
I don't even know exactly what happened.
It really didn't explain
he
it on the
ran
screen.
over some piece of equipment.
Or something wasn't on all the way, it seemed like, as well.
Yeah, and so he was really slow to release. He had a full-on crash out in the car, and it's
so deserved.
Fair.
Yeah.
Crashed out, like, literally was, like, punching the steering wheel and be like, what the fuck? And then he ended up getting, it was an unsafe release. He ended up getting a 10-second stop-and-go penalty. And then we just see him later in the race out of the car, DNF'd.
Yeah,
don't know exactly what happened. Tough weekend for Ollie.
Which also, a 10-second stop and go is different from just a 10-second penalty as well. A 10-second stop and go is, like, effectively almost a minute lost, I believe.
Yeah, you have to pull into the pits to serve it. They can't touch the car. Versus, like, a 10-second penalty, it could be applied after the race, and you just, wherever you were, you'd miss 10 seconds. But the time going in and out of the pit is what causes it to be a lot more harsh.
Yeah, and that's what happened to Lando last year. So they'd love to give those out in Qatar.
Qatar loves stop and goes.
For sure. So then everybody comes out, the rest of the grid comes out after they all pit. The McLarens are ahead again, Oscar, Lando. And then, like, we're just literally sitting there like, what's going to happen? How is this going to work out? Did I say a prayer for a safety car? Maybe.
The prayers were not answered.
No, they weren't answered. That's fine. Hold on, I lost my notes. Oh, okay. So, genuinely nothing is happening. I'm going to be so honest. Until the McLarens pit again. Oscar comes in first, and he comes out ahead of Carlos, behind Max still. And so it's then running... Well, I guess Lando is still in first because he's at pit, but it's basically Max, Oscar.
No, I thought Oscar came up behind Kimi because he had that overtake on Kimi, and then he eventually overtook on Carlos. He had, like, that amazing overtake on Kimi, and then it was like, oh, that was before the second pit stop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then so it's Max, Oscar, Carlos. Lando comes into pit, and this was going to happen no matter what. There was literally nothing to do about it. Lando came out behind
Kimi.
Carlos and Kimi.
Yes.
And they were sitting there. I'm like, okay, there's 10 laps to go. I was like looking at it, and I was like, I'm unless Kimi didn't make that mistake, I had no faith that he was going to pass him, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
It's hard.
The difference between it is if Lando finished in P3, he would have a 12 point.
Wait, if Lando finished in P4.
P4, he would have a 12-point gap or lead going into the last race. If he finished behind Kimi, he would have a 10-point gap, which seems minor, but is not minor when you shake out all of the points.
Yeah, it's very crucial.
So it basically, his goal, he ideally wanted to be in front of both of them, Kimi and Carlos, but he needed to get in front of Kimi because that means that if he were, for next race, if Max wins or if Oscar wins, whoever wins, as long as Lando finishes on the podium.
Just needs to be on the podium.
Then he'll win the championship. Yeah. So he really, that was a crucial,
for sure,
overtake.
But before that all happened, Lando, I mean, he was in DRS range. He couldn't get by. I don't even think he got.
Kimi's a little stinker.
Kimi's good.
He's good, and he's held up so many of these super experienced race car drivers, and Kimi is really, really fantastic at defending, and so. We knew it would be hard for Lando to overtake.
I didn't think it was going to be easy peasy. But, Lando I don't even think he could get within, a half a second. He got, to 0.6 a couple times. Then we're going, and we're oh, but the whole time, we're sitting there as this is happening, and we're, everybody's, doing the math. I'm do this, add 6 points, add 12. What happens if this out, da-da-da. We were, we
were already doing the math on... Lando finishing behind Kimi. We're okay, that's not happening. Let's figure out the math for next week. Yeah. We kind of moved on, accepted our fate.
Yeah. And then Kimi is, he's pushing hard. He is working to keep Lando behind him. He has a little wobble. I think it's literally lap 48 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows Lando to pretty easily pass him. And so Lando is now P4, which once again we talked about is so crucial. He gained 2 more points in this championship instead of, losing out those to Max. And Carlos is still in P3.
Mm-hmm.
It was close. So there was a second and a half behind, but I was there's 2 laps, nobody's catching up.
Right. My favorite thing about the situation is the way that the clip or the way that F1 TV broadcast worked is it just cut to Lando overtaking Kimi.
Yeah, you just see the overtake.
And you didn't see Kimi anywhere. So you didn't see his wobble at first.
No.
And GP, who is Max's race engineer, he was literally stirring the pot. He went on the radio. He was so now Lando's in front of Kimi. It literally looks like he just pulled over and let him through, which didn't happen. And if it was a different team, if it wasn't Mercedes, if it wasn't Kimi, if it wasn't McLaren, if it wasn't Lando, stuff like that does happen near the end of the race.
No,
if it's the right person, if it's the right team, we saw it a lot. If it makes sense for the Constructors' Cup, blah, 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 it could be a million things. But it made 0 sense for Kimi and a Mercedes to pull over and let Lando by in the McLaren.
Mercedes is fighting for the Constructors.
They're fighting for the
as well.
Exactly. So that obviously, unless Kimi went against team orders, which I don't think he would, or against his team,
that's
right?
Not happening.
So that doesn't make any sense. But GP being he let him through,
no, I know.
and I'm Max, don't listen to him.
No,
that's not what happened. It was an accident. I was getting offended for Kimi.
No, 100%.
Even though I'm happy Lando got around Kimi, I'm okay, GP,
what are you doing?
Kimi didn't even do that on purpose. It was an accident. Don't make Max mad at Kimi, which he wouldn't be. Max has
to make the internet mad at Kimi.
And they are.
Yeah.
And they are.
That just adds I get it happens for sure, but it's adding so much fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
It's a little unfortunate to see.
It was really funny though. He was drama.
Yeah.
And then he was oh yeah, congrats on winning the race. It's okay, GP, now is not the moment.
Literally now is not the time. Carlos had just a fantastic race to get. And Carlos, we talk about it all the time, mastermind. He is so good at what he does. He's so good at strategizing. Amazing. He's
so good.
P3 in a Williams. This is the first time I literally couldn't.
He's gone 2 podiums with Williams before Lewis got a podium with Ferrari. I can't get over that. I'm sorry. I see it so many times. I can't get over that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Oh my gosh, it's just so crazy.
It's insane. He's doing great. Like, all the props in the world to Carlos, genuinely.
I'm just genuinely excited to see what Carlos and Williams can do next year.
For sure.
Like, what if they just, like, freaking blow it out of the water?
They could.
Williams wins the Constructors' Cup would be crazy.
I don't even know what I would do if Williams won the Constructors.
It'd be crazy.
Wow, yeah, that'd be insane.
At this point, McLaren's pissed me off enough. I'm like, Williams, go get that Constructors' Cup next year.
Seriously.
I'm all Cadillac now. Pissing me off.
So Max won the race. Oscar got P2, Carlos got P3. Max has now overtaken Oscar in the Drivers' Championship by, I believe, 4 points or 6 points. So Oscar's now in P3 after he led the World Drivers' Championship for the majority, for all of the middle part of the season, from
second race till...
From fourth race, from Saudi to Mexico.
Oh, Saudi. I thought he...
No,
you're right.
Because he
got P2.
No, Lando got P4 in Saudi.
I know, but Lando was getting P2 as well.
Oh, yeah, Lando was getting P2 the whole time. That is just that. Like, seriously? Your team messed this up so bad that you were leading almost the whole season, and now you're in P3 with Max Verstappen and your teammate in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, what, in Zandvoort he was 106 points behind?
Max Verstappen was 106 points behind in Zandvoort.
Oof. Yeah, and also it sucks because it happened on a weekend where Oscar was so dominant. He basically did everything well except he got P2 in the race. Yeah. He was one place off, and he dropped below Max because of it. So it's got to feel really, really difficult, like him doing so good in the sprint, him doing so good in qualifying, just to have that one place taken away, like, and causes him.
That sucks so bad.
It does suck.
He had almost a perfect weekend.
It does suck.
And normally a P2, you'd be like, oh, had a perfect weekend, got that P2. But no, the P2 came with Max Verstappen in front of him.
Yeah, it's tough.
Really tough.
Poor Oscar.
Mark Webber, what are you doing about this?
And Mark Webber, give him a hug for me.
No, I know.
He's so sweet. Okay, let's do is there anything else? Or can we do our champagne pops and problems?
No, I guess so. We're going into Abu Dhabi with Lando 12 points ahead of Max in second. And then Oscar behind Max at, I think, like 4 points behind Max.
Yeah.
So who knows, like, literally knows what's going to happen? Oh, and Oscar should still be giving up his free practice 1 spot. He has not given up to a rookie.
Oh, Lord. So, fun.
I also would like to talk about the fact that Zach Brown came over to the media after the race and said, no, we didn't even think about changing our strategy. Why would we do that?
Sometimes Zach Brown should just keep his mouth shut.
So many people are now then being like, are you admitting that you don't know how to think on the spot?
Well, of course he doesn't.
Or like,
I don't think anybody's shocked about that.
Not even just Zach Brown
himself. There should be people on the team that say, hey, Zach, no, let us make the calls. If Zach Brown's not going to think on a spot, he needs to let somebody else make the decision. I also, like, I mean, obviously I don't know the whole entire thing, but the fact that, like, even the commentators, I don't know, we talked about this during the race, if Oscar ever specifically asked for softs, but the commentators were like, why not just throw on some softs and see if you can hunt down Max? Yeah. And then they just didn't have faith in the soft tire. And then I'm like, can we have faith in our drivers? I think there's so many times we've seen this season where they're just like, no. It's like, just let the drivers, let them do their thing. Yeah. I don't know. Silly.
Frustrating. As much as, like, all of the wins and the constructors and Lando and Oscar doing fantastic this season, the team building the car and having such a fantastic car, it's been, like, one of the most frustrating seasons ever.
Yeah. There's so many frustrating moments throughout the season that's like, what are you doing? And, like, thinking about how, and every team has those moments, like, what are you doing?
Sure.
But, like, if they had, like, better, like, it is, Lando and Oscar are fantastic. Yeah. The car is fantastic. It literally comes down to how many stupid strategy calls there have been.
Like, Mercedes and Red Bull weren't messing up this badly when they were winning the constructors and the drivers. Yeah. Like, once again, like, you can't take the team out of the midfield.
Yeah. Anyways, champagne problem.
The McLaren pit wall.
Yeah. I'll say that because I would say that, but because you're saying that, I'll say Ollie. 10-second stop and go.
That's rough.
DNF. Yeah.
Yeah.
Champagne Pop.
Are we gonna agree on this? Because I'm not picking anybody else than Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, Carlos Sainz.
Carlos Sainz gets the champagne.
Oh my god, I love that man. He's been moving me a lot.
Yeah.
This season. Because I don't know what it is. I took it so personally when he got kicked off of Ferrari.
No, literally.
Like, I took it personally. Like, I felt like my, like, family member was, like, affected by this. Like, I was like, how dare they do that to him?
For sure.
And for him to be having the season, it feels really fucking good.
No, it does feel very good.
So, yeah, I'll also agree.
I'm going
on
to check
that.
real quick. Where's Carlos in the standings?
Here,
and officially, Williams has officially secured P5. So they cannot lose P5.
Wait, drivers? Okay. Carlos is in 9th. So Alex is still ahead of Carlos in the drivers. That could change next week. But again, Alex had such a fantastic first half of the season. That's not super surprising. Charles has 230 points where Lewis has 152. So, like, literally a 78-point difference.
Is there a battle between George and Charles for P4?
No.
Okay, so George has P4.
George has P4 secure.
Okay.
Yeah, George has 309 points and Charles has 230.
The fact that we're going into Abu Dhabi, we don't know who's going to finish P1, P2, P3 is crazy.
It's really crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Lando has 408 points, Max is 396, Oscar 392. I'm trying to see if there's any other close battles other than Alex and Carlos.
Jesus.
I think that's Lewis and Kimmy. They're fighting for P6. They're separated by 2 points.
Oh, I would love for Kimmy to get it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I would love for Kimmy to get it.
Alex and Carlos are...
if it wasn't for those 2 points this race, it would have been tied.
Damn.
Sorry.
Alex and Carlos are 9 points for P. They're going for P8.
Okay. And
Nico is fighting to get in the top 10. He's down by 2 points. So a lot of close battles in the midfield.
Is Gabby finishing last?
No, Franco still doesn't have any points. In fact, Franco has the same amount of points as Jack Doohan.
Oh.
So Gabby actually has 19 points. Yeah. Over Franco 0.
What was it?
So
was it the European races where he was doing like pretty decent?
I think so.
I'm excited for Audi next year. This could be like blind hope. Is that the right phrase? I don't know, but I feel like they could be good. I have my faith in it.
McLaren has 800 points in the constructors.
McLaren,
where Mercedes 459. They have almost double the amount of points as P2.
Insane. Yeah.
Red Bull's at 426. So Red Bull still could overtake Mercedes. It'd be hard, but they could.
P2.
For P2, yeah. And then
Ferrari.
Ferrari's out of it. Williams is in P5, and they've got that secure. Yeah. They're not going to reach P4. They're not going to be overtaken by Racing Bulls. Aston Martin could still potentially overtake Racing Bulls for P6 in the constructors. Haas isn't too far off, could potentially go up to P7.
Remember when I said Haas P5?
Yeah, I can't wait to go back and look at review our old stuff. Kick Sauber's in 9th with 68, so they could potentially overtake Haas. Alpine, they got 22 points next year, all from Pierre. They're securely in P10. I don't think we have anything to worry about there.
Well,
so yeah, super fun. Next week's gonna be a doozy.
We have one more race left of the 2025 Formula 1
Crazy.
season.
One more race left and then motorsport is over for the year.
Yeah. Really crazy.
I'm really sad about that. Well, Formula E starts soon.
Formula E does start soon, actually.
And Asian Le Mans series starts soon too. Wow. So at least there's something. Those aren't like one of the main ones that we watch, but maybe if I'm really I need something.
I was still am huge fan of Pepe. I feel like I'm gonna have to keep up with Formula E this year.
Yeah, maybe you should take that on,
especially since it's like slightly off season for a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll see what I can.
Should we try to go to the Formula E race in Portland?
There's also one in Miami, the Miami E-Prix.
Oh, okay.
We have a lot of things to figure out for next year.
We have our planning meeting this weekend. It's fine, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Yeah, good stuff. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next week. We're gonna literally turn on the camera. And it's gonna look like we went through a war.
It's either gonna be just like despair or happiness
or just confusion. Yeah. Or it's gonna feel weird.
No matter what.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say anymore.
Yeah,
that's all.
No matter what. Okay. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to us again. Try to get us to 200 followers on YouTube. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to us on everything else as well.
Yeah, why not? Bye. See you next week.